You're sending pic after picture, girl, give me fire. You know I'm always on the night shift, and you can stand these nights alone. Yeah, you don't need no explanation, 'cause baby, I'm the boss at home. I ain't gotta go to work, but I gotta put in work.
Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss the simple interest related board exam problems. And before proceeding to our simple discussion, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updated videos in the future. And let's go now to this topic, simple interest. Okay, so as an introduction to this simple interest, this is calculated using the principal value or amount and ignoring any interest that had been accrued in preceding periods. So this principal amount is also referring now to the present worth amount at year 0, and ignoring any interest that had been accrued in preceding periods, meaning that your principal amount or present amount where your interest is applied will still be the same in every year, unlike the compound interest in which the principal in every year is different from the other year. So this is now the simple explanation about this ignoring any interest that have been accrued in preceding periods. And for simple interest is paid on short-term loans in which the time of the loan is measured in years. So take note that this time of the loan is measured in years. And we have now this simple formula relating our interest to the future and the present worth amount for the principal. F is equal now to P plus your interest I, and our F here is the accumulated or future worth amount, and our P rather is the principal or the present worth amount, and our I is just simply the interest. Okay, so the formula for our I is just equal now to the product of your P and an I, where your P is the principal or present worth amount. The N here is this time of loan which is measured in years, and our I is simply the rate of interest. And this I is the rate of interest per interest period, and your N is just the number of interest periods in a unit of year or years. Okay, so from this given F equals to P plus I, we will substitute this value of our I, which is the product of P and an I here. So we will have now this form or this formula. So we are going to extract the P here, extract it, and then we have this formula of our F, which is just equal now to P times this 1 plus Ni. Okay, and we are going to proceed now to these two types of simple interest, in which first is the ordinary simple interest, and this is computed on the basis of 12 months of 30 days each month, and this is just equivalent to 360 days in 1 year. So when you encounter a problem specifying an ordinary simple interest, so you have to consider this 30 days per month, or when you are considering 1 year is 360 days, and you have to remember only this one interest period, which is equal now to 360 days, where your N is just simply equal now to your small d over 360. Okay, so you have to remember also that the unit of this N is just in years. It is already in years, because here this 360 is its unit is referring no to number of days, no, number of days per year. So if we are going to check, no, n is equal now to d, our d is in days, no, and then our 360 is in unit of 360 days per year. Okay, so if you are going to check, no, the units, so this would become, no, when you multiply with the denominator, so this would be now in year, and then this is now in days. Okay, so probably the unit of your n is in year. So when you use this one, d over 360, which is our n, so your unit here is already in year or years. Okay, so proceeding with our next type of simple interest is the exact simple interest. Okay, so just remember, no, that in using this exact simple interest, you have to remember this formula, no, in getting your n for ordinary year and getting your n for this leap year. So when you are going to get, no, the n considering ordinary year, so use n equal now to d over 365, and this is also in a unit of year, no. Also for a leap year, so you need to use this n equal now to d over 366. So with the problem states that you need to consider exact simple interest, so you need to remember, no, if your year under consideration is a leap year, or if it is not a leap year, so it is ordinary year, so you have to use this formula for n, or if in case that it is a leap year, so you have to use this formula of your n, no. So you have to consider and remember also, no, if you are considering a century years, no, as you can see in the screen, no, try to remember that one, the steps, no, that you need to take in determining if the given year is a leap year or not. So that is for century years. But for the case of not a century year, so you have to remember this one also, no, the steps, no, in determining if your year is a leap year or not. Okay, so just to remember, try to remember, no, for century year consideration and for this not century year consideration. Okay, so we are going to proceed now to the sample problem, no, which is a board exam problem. Okay, so here we have to determine the ordinary simple interest on 7,000 pesos for 8 months and 15 days if the rate of interest is 15%. Okay, so first you have to consider now what kind of simple interest. So this is an ordinary simple interest. So when you are considering ordinary simple interest, you have to remember, no, that in 1 month you are going to consider the in 1 month, okay, you are going to consider only 30 days. Okay, or in 1 year you are only considering 360 days. Okay, this is for ordinary simple interest, and your formula for this is n is equal now to your small d, which is in day or days, over this 360, okay, in which each unit is already in years. Okay, so based on the given problem, you have this 7,000, no? Determine the ordinary simple interest on 7,000, meaning your principal amount here is equal now to 7,000 pesos. Okay, and this 8 months and 15 days is just referring now to this small d, no, the interest period. So you need to determine, no, your small d, which is equal now to 8 months, okay, plus your 15 days. So you need to use this 1 month equal now to 30 days, no, to have a unit of days here. So therefore you can say that your small d is just 8 times this, no, 8 months times, we have this 30 days per month, so this is times 30, okay, plus your 15 days, and this is probably equal now to 240 plus 15, so this is 255 days, okay. So aside from that, we already have this day, no, and since we are looking to in determining this ordinary simple interest, so our formula for this, no, for ordinary simple interest, okay, so our I is just equal now to P times N times your I, okay, in which if we are going to substitute, no, the value of your P, which is 7,000, okay, times your N, no, your N is D over 360, and your D is already equal now to 255, okay, so this is 255 over 360 times your I, which is equal now to this rate of interest of 15%, so in decimal this is 0.15, okay. So calculating the value of your I is just simply equal now to 743.75 pesos, okay. So this is now our ordinary simple interest on this principal amount of 7,000 for 8 months and 15 days at a certain rate of interest of 15%. So this would be now our answer, no, for this given problem, okay. So now we are going to proceed, no, to the next board exam problem, no, which is related also to our topic today, the simple interest. So we have here a bank charges 12% simple interest on a 3,000 pesos loan. How much will be repaid if the loan is paid back in one lump sum, okay, after 3 years? Okay, so based on this one, we have this rate of interest, no, of 12%, okay. We can say that we have this given parameters, no, our I is just equal now to 12%, okay, and then on an interest on a 3,000 pesos loan, so we can say that our P, which is our principal, is equal now to 3,000 pesos, okay. And how much will be repaid if the loan is paid back in one lump sum? Take note that in one lump sum, no, after 3 years. So our N here is just equal now to 3 years, okay. So what are you going to calculate here? How much? Take note, how much will be repaid, no, if the loan is paid back, no, in one lump sum after 3 years. So from this statement alone, no, how much will be repaid if the loan is paid back in one lump sum after 3 years? This is referring now to our future worth, which is denoted by this F, no. So this is our anode, okay. So based on the problem, no, based on this one, the problem does not indicate no if what type of simple interest is this one. Is it an ordinary simple interest or an exact simple interest? So the problem does not indicate no if it is an ordinary or exact. Okay, so your approach here is just simply as a simple interest no in our first slide there no before we go into this problem solving. So for a simple interest, if it does not indicate no if it is an ordinary or exact simple interest, so you have to go no you have to go basically to this formula of your f, which is equal now to p plus your I. Okay, where your I here is just simply equal now to the product of p in I. And besides the n here is given already no, which is in years. Okay, so you can use no this formula here in getting this value of f no, which is just the sum of your p, in which your p is given, which is 3000, and your I is just simply equal now to the product of p and an I. So by this we will calculate first our I, which is p. Our p is 3000 times your n is 3 years. Okay, so take note that it is already given in years, times your I is 12%. Okay, so we can actually get no the value of your I here, which is equal to 1,080 pesos. Okay, so in getting the value of your f, so we are just going to use this simple formula no, f is equal now to p plus I, and which is then equal now to 3000 plus your I, which is 1080. Okay, so therefore our f is simply just equal now to 4080 pesos. Okay, so we already have this value of our f no, which is our amount repaid no after 3 years no. So this is our f, and this is probably our answer no for this board exam problem. Okay, so we are done with these two problems, and in my next no lecture video I will discuss there another board exam problem no using the exact simple interest, and then what are the things that you need to consider no if you are dealing with an exact simple interest in some years no, maybe from year 2000 until 2016, or maybe from year 1990s to 2015. You are going to determine the exact simple interest from those years, and I will show you there no some technique no on how to get the exact simple interest out of the number of years no under consideration. But as of today, this is it no for the subject simple interest, and thank you very much no for listening and watching for this lecture video, and these are my references no in this subject, engineering economy. And again, thank you very much for watching and listening. God bless us all and keep safe, everyone.